about to go downtown.
Downtown, hey!
Downtown. You about to go downtown.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to another week's episode of Downtown World. And if you're watching tonight, you already know who we have in the building. But if you are listening to us, we do have, it's Women's Month. We are bigging up all of our queens on all levels. And as a lot of people know, Atlanta is one of those places in the world that are super flourishing. And within that space, a queen that is super flourishing, in my humble opinion, is Queen Kelz. How do I pronounce your last name, Queen?
Mungin.
Mungin? I almost said Mungin, so I'm happy I asked. Mungin.
I heard it.
So we have Kelz Mungin in the building, and she is the owner of, 92.3 in Atlanta, okay? So we have a CEO in the building today. So how are you doing, Kelz?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I like that CEO, though. I'm going to have to start using that one.
Go ahead, take it. I definitely did not make it up, so go for it. But, I'll start you off here. Downtown, it stands for Don't Waste No Time with Negativity. So I'll cut right to it. What is a situation, Kelz, that you feel like it was definitely negative, no questions asked about it, but somehow, some way, you found a way not to waste any time with negativity?
Well, I've had a couple of those, I would say, at the end of last year. So going into 2021, I'd say November, December was very trying. Like, of course, owning a radio station, you get kind of close to the people that have shows, the people that you've worked all year with. So then you have some people that drop off, or they go to another station, or they start a station. And so things like, it was probably about 4 or 5 different things that hit me all at one time that I didn't expect. And like my husband, shout out to my husband, he taught me to just think of being a person that teaches, a person that starts something, a person like in leadership. So don't take it to be something personal or negative. Take it like a learning lesson. Like, that person can say it, they started with you. Yeah. So that's what I turned around, because me being a Pisces, I would have been like, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, oh, let me try something different. And when I say doing it that way, I didn't burn any bridges in those relationships. Like, I found out their reasoning of why they did what they wanted to do. Instead of taking it personal and making it to be negative, I just flipped it to make it positive. And it turned out to be positive across the board for everybody involved.
Definitely. No, that is, you definitely, here at Downtown, we say eat fruit, mind your business. And when I say fruit, I mean that obviously in the physical sense. It's good for the skin, it's good for the yoni, all the things. And it's like bars, how rappers would have bars, you're giving fruit. And you're giving a lot of fruit right now, because one, we have to know our strengths and weaknesses when it comes to having a team. Number 2 is like knowing when it's time to speak up and when it's time to be silent. That is a part of being a boss. Not a lot of people, I feel like, speak on it, but it's very important, right? It can be make and break to those situations or relationships like you were speaking on. And that is something else I'll piggyback on, the importance of maintaining relationships, right?
Yes.
Because you never know. Obviously people are guilty of fuck shit, but you never know what someone is going through or what their reasoning is until you know. And even when you think you know, you don't know, right? Yep. So a lot of fruit. And that road can get depressing and lonely at times. Being an entrepreneur is not as easy, and being an owner of your own radio station in a hub where like the world is looking towards to like almost survive right now, know? What is that like for you, just being a woman in that space and balancing all of that? I know you mentioned your husband, and that's a great resource to have when it's a healthy exchange, But what is that experience like for you?
Because again, with me being such I won't say how do I put how I am? I like for everybody to be happy. So if I got to sacrifice my happiness for somebody else's happiness, that has been the biggest challenge is to put me in the mix too. So my struggles right now, the difficulties aren't necessarily with the business. They're like difficulties within myself. Like it's growing pains, I'll say. Dealing with, being there for my husband, being there for the kids, being there for myself, and being there for business. It's a lot to juggle, but yeah, this year I'm trying to focus more on putting myself in the midst of that. So asking how I juggle that. I just do. I don't know how, I just do.
Does your gender, you feel like, play a role in how you're experiencing this journey?
Oh, definitely. When you're a woman, they expect you to hold a certain caliber. They don't expect you to know as much. They don't expect you to boss up when you need to, because if you do, then you're a bitch. If you don't, then you're a pushover. So you got to find that healthy balance in between. And I think I've been doing a good job of that now. In the past, I've been more on the pushover side, hoping not to go too far into the bitchy side, but I'd rather go that way than to be pushed over. Yeah.
No, it's definitely a conversation that needs to keep happening, and for us to normalize the fact that having opinions in the workplace as women, especially when we are at the head of the company, it's not being a bitch. Sometimes it's just me running my business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
have to be the bad guy when you're not really being the bad guy. You're just trying to do business professionally.
Yeah, and I've definitely am learning a more professional way to just say it's not time right now. Before, I'm definitely guilty of being one of those people where I feel like I would ask a lot of questions that I can now see being where I am. And obviously we have so much further to go, but just like, you can tell by the questions sometimes someone is asking that like, they're just not maybe ready to meet you where you're at. And sometimes trying to express that as a woman, people may take that the incorrect way.
Yeah, and that's the struggle in it all. Just trying to make sure you come off in a way that isn't too abrasive or too pushoverish.
Definitely. So how did you get started in radio, Kelz?
Oh gosh. Okay. So I started out as a wardrobe stylist. So I wasn't even thinking radio. I wasn't thinking anything. I just knew that at some point I wanted to end up doing red carpet interviews. And that was the extent of any type of media that I wanted to do. So I started out doing wardrobe styling. Then I went into modeling, and doing modeling, I knew eventually I'll be able to do carpet hosting. So I started meeting different people. I ended up as a co-host on a radio show. I loved it. And so I wanted to implement some of my ideals of, things I wanted to do for a segment to just bring more of myself out, because I was the quiet one. I was the newest one.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really fit into the brand of that show. Yeah. And I wanted to implement and didn't fit into their show. So I tried to branch off and do my own show. And in the midst of trying to find a place to take my show to, like a different radio station here in Atlanta, it was only like maybe one or two stations that I really, really liked. And they didn't have any slots that I wanted. So I went home frustrated, like, I'm just going to start my own radio station. And then my husband was like, you should. And I was like, no, I was just talking because I was mad. And so literally I just started buying equipment. Didn't have a place to put it. We didn't have a name for it. We didn't it wasn't a license to get it started. I literally just kept buying stuff. My husband found the location, and before we knew it, the doors was open, and we started with 6 shows on day one.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
And I know that's not easy because, I've grown up in radio my whole life. My father, he's been a part of it. And as well, I definitely notice when a radio station has just gotten bought over, and they take like the first day or two, or sometimes even the week, they're just playing these tracks on and on. You could tell, because I'm a bit of a nerd, so I could tell, okay, they have no shows yet, or whoever they hired, they're not ready yet. So to come out the gate with 6 just ready to go, that's like you were playing no games. That's real.
Right. And we're so surprised. Like I ended up getting a part-time job too, just in case it didn't work out how I wanted to work out. I was like, I'll start working to make sure that the bills at home could be taken care of, on top of, if we got to pay the bills.
We have to deal with their realities.
Right. So I think it was like the 3rd month I started seeing a profit. So that was literally when you say for you, is for you. Like if it's for you, it doesn't have to be as hard as somebody else's journey. And I feel like it was just because it was for me at that moment.
That is amazing. So speak on the importance of like having your team or a great support system around you, because obviously while you've done a lot of this process to yourself, it does sound like you had some real people around you to be like push extra in this direction or pull you back from a direction maybe was not the way to go.
I always thought it was maybe because I had a good product or because the location was professional, this, that, and the third. But I literally had a panel like 2 months ago. I think it was January. We'd had a panel for people that wanted to come in and just learn about media. And so I had say about 7 or 8 of my radio hosts to be on the panel so they can tell the people that were coming to the event, the networking event, like how their journey was in radio and why they chose Hits 92.3. And it blew my mind that every single person on that panel's answer was because of me. It was like the person that the professionalism, just being humble. And so I think with any business, I've heard this in the past before, like when you're transparent and people know who you are, you can sell a product better than the product can sell itself. Mm-hmm. And I learned like, oh, I really, really have a team, not because I did this for them or they did that for me. It was just because we have a genuine love and understanding and appreciation for what we do for each other. Because again, I started as a radio personality. So in my mind, I'm always thinking what's the best interest for a radio personality. Exactly. So I think that's a part in why we're able to have a team for each other, because as much as I am to them, they are to me. Like the station wouldn't stand without me.
Sorry. That's how you know the weather's warming up, right? The bikers are out, everyone's outside. Okay.
I love it.
And my mic just picks up everything. Okay. So sorry about that. Now, that is really amazing. And like, definitely, Queen, you deserve all the roses and flowers because this is not easy. And when it comes to being a CEO of a radio company and being a part of a show, do you find that a difficult balance?
Yes. I've had so many times where I felt like I was juggling way too many things. I was feeling guilty because I was doing the morning show Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then once 10 a.m. hits, I got to change hats and become the CEO of the station and make sure all the other shows are okay. So sometimes I would feel guilty if I put attention on my show or I had a certain person to come on to my show instead of sending them to another show. So outside of that, it's been okay. It's just the trying to balance and wondering what other people think. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So, yeah, that's the real balance of having a show and running a station at the same time, because people think a 4-hour show is, oh, you just come in and you do your 4-hour show and then you go on. Like you got to think of content for 4 hours. You got to edit 4 hours of content. You got to make sure that's up on all social media platforms. You still got to find people to come in and interview, make sure they're going to show up for the shows. You got to do the pictures, send that out, talk to their managers, then all the things that comes with running a radio station. So it's a lot.
It's a lot. Wow, it is truly a lot. How does one determine that they are making revenue in the radio industry? 3 months, I feel like for any business, that's a great turnover. Average probation for you working at a job is 90 days, right? So that's nothing to like play with. Humble flex, like take it, But how does one know that, okay, this is how I know that I'm gaining profit or winning in the radio space?
I tell people, for me, it's a hustle business. Anybody that's coming into radio, especially internet radio, you have to have some type of sales experience. For me, I feel like I can send out 300 DMs, emails, and it may be like maybe 5 people that are interested in an interview. You do radio.
Yeah.
So the profitable part of that is you just have to stay consistent. With ours, we charge between $150 to $200 for an interview. So if we can get 2 a week per person, you can be very profitable. But if you're a person that's not going to take the time to send out those 100 emails or those 200 DMs, then you're not going to be, profitable.
Very true.
Work in pretty much.
No, very true, very true. So another standard question that we do have here at Downtown, don't waste no time with negativity, is you have the four elements. You have earth, fire, water, and air. Which
Mhm.
element, Kels, do you feel like you resonate with or represents you the most, and why?
Oh, I've never been asked that. First thing that stood out to me would be water. Water because it's clear. I feel I'm very transparent. So what you see is what you get. It's flow, so I can kind of maneuver in any type of situation. And you need Kelz. Of course, you need water. So duh, it only makes
I love that. I
Water.
actually never got that. I never got the clear. I've never gotten the like. Literally, we do need water. Like we cannot survive without water. So yes, Kels is water. I
Yes,
love it. I love it, boss. No, and yeah, that is really dope answer. I resonate with water too, but I never thought of it like that way because water isn't actually blue, which we know it is clear.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
let's see.
what
Let's
you
see.
say? What comes to mind for you
Sorry.
when you think of water? When you say you resonate with water, what comes to mind for you?
It's just like anytime I'm around water or like hear water, I just love how it makes me feel.
Mhm.
I definitely like the way how it just goes with the flow, but at the same time, like it can definitely like, regardless of where it's at, it finds a way to adapt to the situation. And I
Yep.
definitely feel like I am one of those like people, like wherever you put me, I'm gonna find a way to survive. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
Love it.
But I
I like
really
that.
love that. Like I really like I think I might steal that. Get at me. No, I love that. So now you also mentioned your husband, and when it comes to business, relationships, you always hear so much conversation around it. How is it for you working with a partner that you're also in an intimate relationship with?
Well, we are night and day on almost every single thing. So we've tried working businesses like partnership businesses together that did not work.
Yeah.
So we're mainly support for each other. And I think that works best for us because we're able to be who we are. We're able to expand and like put all of our ideals and what we have going on without, shining light on, not shining light, but dimming the light on the other person and support for the other person. So when we see what you got going on this end, like, oh, you should try this, or, take that away, don't do this, add that, that works perfect for us because we're both like, when we're out and about, we're probably like the life of the party. We're both extra. We're both goofy. We both love life. We both love being different. So to be able to have different elements of what we do and then we bring it together, that's just magic.
Oh, that's dope. Sounds like it's never boring, and that's the goal.
Yeah.
I love that. And, thank you for sharing that because a lot of the times, as Black women, it doesn't always have to be pain. It doesn't always have to be like struggle. You can own businesses with your partner. We can build legacies. We can build things together. And it's so valuable to have someone by your side to be like, you can do it
Yeah.
without letting ego get in the way. So
Ab-
it's truly a beautiful thing. Go ahead, Queen. Now, when it comes to just people, there's a lot of artists, a lot of music, people are always trying to get their music out there. I can tell you my emails, DMs consistently filled with YouTube videos, this, that, whatever. You know how it goes. So when it
Yes.
comes to submissions and people getting their music to 92.3, like how do you guys go about that process? I'll be in full admit, like I've never really tried to get music or anything to radio, so I don't really know the process or how you would go about your process if you're open to sharing how people can get music to be heard on your station.
Well, they DM like crazy. Like everything. I can't even tell you how many emails we get every single day, how many DMs we get, and they literally would just either send their whole package, they'll send a song, or they'll send their YouTube channel. Like they'll send whatever it is. So we have different sponsorship packages to focus on different music that they can get it played for 30 days, 60 days, or whatever the case is. A lot of them have come in for interviews, and if we like the music, I literally would just throw it in there. Like, so it's just really of putting yourself out there. just speaking to an artist. Like if you're an artist and you don't know what to do, send an email. I don't like when they be like, hey, listen to this. And then that's it. I like
literally, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, if you're not seeing us in person, have somebody to write out an email that makes sense of why you want to listen to it. Tell about what the song is, what it means to you. And it'll be, because you got to think about it. If you're an artist and you're sending something, you got to think it's 5,000 other artists that sent theirs too. You got to have a way to stand out if you're not in that person's face with something in hand, like, hey, so the ones that stand out to me are the ones that seem more passionate about their project, besides the ones like, hey, I just dropped this, check it out or play it when you get a chance.
Yeah. No, I rock with that, because I definitely, those are part of my, like, for a little bit, I was taking everything and I was realizing, like, why do I feel so drained? Why do I feel like I have such a headache? And I'm like, it's because of the people that I'm taking on and how I'm letting them, setting our boundaries, right? So I definitely was like, if you don't have a Spotify, like, if you're not on DSPs, it's a nah. If literally just sent me the link to your YouTube in my DM, it's a nah. If you just like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how you would look at that and think, okay, like Swiss Beats or someone's just gonna look at that and be like, you know what, I'm ready to change your life. Like, no, no.
Don't even
no. So please come to Kelz, correct. Thank you. Right.
My dude, what's up? How you just assume I'm a man? They don't need, like, just the way that they come about.
Yeah, that is like at the top of the list. Hey, bro.
Yes.
I just like, bro, did you ever think to look at anything connected to this page? Because
first of all,
last time I checked.
Exactly. I'm with you. Thank you for submitting your music.
Honestly, I don't even bother. Oh, that is another one for me. I know I don't even bother. If, like, now, especially in 2021, shout outs to all of my communities. Like, if you're just gonna assume my pronoun, like,
oh yeah,
I subscribe to she, whatever. But like literally in 2021, if this is how you're still operating, that alone, like, it's enough. Like, there's just, we have to fine tune it, because I feel like there's no artist development anymore. Any artist can put out anything pretty much. So there has to still be some construct, or else you're going to be left feeling drained, overwhelmed, getting ridiculous emails all the time, questions that, like, you wouldn't have to answer if you were dealing with like an artist that, so.
Exactly.
That is my event. It's Kelz approved. All right, y'all. So take that with a grain of salt. But for real, it really is. And I know I mentioned setting boundaries. What are some of the ways, because you have a lot going on. You got 6 shows, you got the radio station, you doing the marketing, doing the business, all the things that comes with having your business and just being yourself. What are some of the ways, Kelz, that you practice self-care in your life?
Ooh, so I guess lately it would be this thing right here. So I ended up getting a separate phone. Every single person that I come in contact with the station has been able to contact me personally. So I've had to grow out of that friend mentality to everybody, where they were able to call me, text me whenever. And I have a couple of friends, like, outside of radio that actually have shows there. So even they would just hit me up at any time. So now the first thing for self-care is cutting this off. Weekends, don't bother calling me unless it's an emergency. Like, if you have a show on the weekend, I keep it with me for shows that's on the weekend in case they need me. But outside of 4 p.m., unless it's an emergency, do not call me. So that's the first thing, is breaking away from work. That's something that's hard. Really hard to do.
Definitely struggling with that still.
So I always, at first, I used to feel guilty with first telling them to start calling or texting the business line and not my personal phone. I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to think, oh, now she's stuck up. But I was like, no, that's something I have to start doing. And then sometimes they would text me things that I can't get to it right then. And I tell them to email me. So when I'm getting back to the office, I can, get into all. So that has been the first thing that took a lot of stress off, is not being obligated to cater to every single person's needs at that moment. Another thing that I started doing was just simple as going to lunch with my friends, just to have that outside, because not all of my friends are entrepreneurs. So just to have a different conversation, like I don't even care if it's some gossip, it's some ratchet, it's something other than talking about work all of the time. We have nights, my daughter and I, we have date days. And so I got
you guys are so cute together.
Thank you. And so, it's just learning to balance different things that I like to do. And that's been the struggle with me prior to 2021. So self-care for me is just spending the quality time with the people that I truly care about outside of work. And that's pretty much all I need for me. That's medicine enough for me.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. It's definitely about setting boundaries, spending time with the people you love, and not letting the fear of like what other people think when you do what you know your body's telling you to do. Because that's a huge thing, right? As I said, I'm definitely still guilty of that. I'll be like, I'm not supposed to answer emails past this time. And then I'll hear the email notification. I'll be like, but it could be, but it could be. Like, but it could be. And it's not, but it's still up, So
but then I'll put a star in it because I still check everything. I just purposely won't answer. So I'll put a star to it, like, okay, you open it. So now this has to be the first thing that you look at tomorrow,
right?
or I opened it. Because I know what's being said.
It's crazy. It's super crazy. So on my personal page, Kelz, I love food. Food is life for me. I reshuffled it down in the kitchen. And I want to ask you, what did you eat today?
What did I eat today? Oh, I went to Hooters. Me and my husband went on a Hooters.
What did you get? Oh, I miss Hooters.
Loaded nachos. And then, look, I'm greedy. So I had the loaded nachos, and then I got an 8-piece boneless wing. So yeah, it was low. And I just cut the chicken with my nachos.
Ooh, that's a life hack right there. I didn't think about that. You get the boneless, so you can and then you hack the game right there, Kelz. I am actually
get the General Tso from Hooters. That sauce is to die for.
No, I miss Hooters. Everything is pretty much things are slowly opening up, but like it's locked down early. I just stay inside.
Oh, yep. See,
Pinterest. Let me see what I can come up with. But like, I miss the Hooters. Good times, good times. Now, if you could have any superpower for 24 hours, what superpower would it be, and why?
It's probably weird to say, but the disappearing, like I could just be anywhere and you don't know I'm there. I'm just curious to know conversations not in.
Oh my gosh. So where are you gonna disappear to first?
I don't know. It's a lot of different places. I guess it depends on what's going on. I'm gonna spark a conversation while I'm here and then just disappear and then enter the room and see how it goes.
No, for real. I hear that. Mine's is is it telepathy? No. Is it telepathy? Why am I mixing it up? The one where you can like go like this and you end up where you want to be.
Oh, like kind of working somewhere? Just end up somewhere else?
Like transportation or something like that.
Oh, that's
teleporting. There we go. Teleporting.
Yeah.
That is mine. Because I want to travel. I don't want to go through security. I don't want to do all the flights and shit. So I'm just goodbye. Jamaica all day.
But I'm such a moody person. I'll probably never be in the same place in more than 20 minutes.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm so silly, please. But seriously. And I feel like the more tech is increasing, my dreams don't sound too crazy right now. Cars are going to be able to fly.
Sunday when you want Chick-fil-A and it's closed. I'm going right back to Saturday night because I want that right now.
And then you look at the extra Polynesian sauce that you did not use that's in the fridge, and you're like, I could have had use for you.
Put me in the kitchen right now.
No, Chick-fil-A it's life. It's too serious. Like, I don't know what they put in the food.
Hey,
I don't think I could ever work there. The service is way impeccable. I'm in the drive-through. The drive-through is super long. Someone else coming out in the rain, in the rain, in the rain. Like, what do
and
you need? I'm like, I need these fries.
let me test your fries before I give it to you. Make sure it's good.
Right? Like, oh my gosh. No, no. Shoot. But you know what? I heard they take a really great care of their employees. So I do rate that about
Oh,
Chick-fil-A.
heck.
So hopefully that's still true.
Right.
So another question I'll ask you, if you had the would you rather, right? Getting $500 million deposit one time
Mhm.
or cure world hunger and be known for it? Which would you rather?
Give me the $500 million and then I can feed as many people as I need to and plus take care of me and my family.
As you need to.
Yeah.
What is one of those first steps going to be with the 500 mil?
First of all, getting a lawyer because I'm not even gonna know what to do first after that.
Yeah.
I would have to find a lawyer that I would trust. So I think that would probably be the hardest part because lawyers they don't have the best reputation. So the first thing I would definitely do is get a lawyer to help me even sort out this money and make sure that everything goes the way it needs to go. That's first and foremost.
Legit. I definitely like working at a law firm. What I will say, as long as your bag is up, they are the best people in the as long as you're sending those bottles of Dom to the office. Yeah.
Oh, you ain't gonna be good. I'm straight.
You're super straight. But if you're telling them, hey, can I have 2 more days to make that before you guys file, they're definitely not caring about your future. They're just gonna do the bare minimum. The bare minimum. Kelz, I want to ask you, when it comes to 92.3 and Kelz Mungin and just what you see, the vision, what do you see moving
Oh,
forward?
So my biggest thing is to be able to have different radio personalities to be hosting different events at different areas within the city. I want us to be known in the community. I want us to build Habitat for Humanity houses. I want us to be able to have block parties, like a staple in the community that we're in, because with internet radio, you can be heard all over the world. It's not very big in the city that you're in because terrestrial radio, of course, wins every time. But with terrestrial radio, you go to another city, nobody knows who you are. So internet radio is winning. So to be able to travel and have different Hits 92.3 stations in different states is what I would love to do. But just the work that we do, because it's a family feel. Like everyone that has ever came in contact with Hits 92.3 says they feel like it's a family environment when they come in. And so that's the feel I want everybody to get incorporated with when they deal with Hits 92.3. So you go out in the street somewhere, you see that van or you see that car and it's wrapped in Hits 92.3, you just know, oh, that's family right there. That is a dream for me.
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's very important to be mindful of how you make people feel, because especially when you're in a business of people are listening, like they're taking in your frequency on a daily basis. Like you want to make sure that you're leaving them feeling high and feeling great about themselves and not drained and low. So it's definitely something important that people should pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to ask you just, if there's fruit that you could share with the other women, other people out there right now that, maybe they're struggling a bit with their business or they're going through a low season and they may be like, you know what, maybe it's just time to wrap it up or to quit. What do you have to say to those people?
Oh gosh, if I could tell people how much we struggled in the beginning of anything that we've tried to do, and the biggest mistake we've ever made in any business we've ever done was giving up. I've learned something over the years, and I don't know what that quote said exactly, but it was like, the greatest way of failure in any business is giving up. Like if you give up, you're not going to win anyway. So whether you have kids, whether you're married, whether you have a job, I would never tell, and this is probably like the worst advice entrepreneur would tell somebody that has a job. I'm not a person that would ever tell somebody to quit their job.
Yeah.
If you're not in a position to fund your livelihood, then drop to part-time. And in that other amount of time, spend it on building the business. But people will say, you know, I slept in my car and I did this. There's so many other avenues. You can Uber. I literally saved my house. Back in 2018, I had to pay $10,000 to save my house, and Uber did that for me. So I would never tell anybody, like, don't do Uber. You got DoorDash. You got all these different jobs, odd jobs that you can do in just indirect hours where you can still build a business. So if someone says, you know, I don't have sponsors, I don't have sponsors. I don't have investors, I don't have investors. Everything was on my back from the very beginning. And we're 2 years in, and it's consistently going up because I built a team of people that I trust and they trust me. And I would say, get a team of people who believe in your brand that can help you in the areas that you can't afford to pay somebody to do. And I've been afforded that and blessed with that because I want to be to somebody what I want somebody to be to me. So if you're a that's in the business and you're just willing to give up, you got to throw your pride out the window and ask for help. You don't know how many people are watching, and be transparent. When we started the business, we recorded everything. We put everything on social media, from buying the microphones to hanging up the banners in the background. So people love to see the growth. And if you believe in your business, it's easy for somebody else to want to buy into your brand and believe into what you believe in. So if you're ready to give up, you just got to try harder, put yourself out there, ask for help. Yeah. It's out there.
You do. And, you know, seek guidance from the right people.
Yes.
Oh gosh, from the right people.
Working a job, you get to where you want to be. I want to keep stressing that. People always tell people, quit your job and go full time and it'll blow. Sometimes that doesn't work for everybody. So I would never be an entrepreneur that'll tell you to go 100% if you're not ready.
Yeah, that's super wild. Now, obviously, if you're in a situation where you're being abused or your mental health is like totally like cut it. You know what I mean? I will never tell you to stay in an abusive situation that like is definitely not good for you, but you must be realistic about like your goals, you know? It's kind of like moving out. Are you gonna move out and not have anywhere else to go? That's kind of like setting yourself up for like
yeah, you got to plan for everything, especially 2021. You don't know what the future.
Yeah, for real. And I wanted to ask you, know, it is a pandemic. It's something that none of us have ever experienced before. Like, how have you been handling that? How do you feel about it? And how has it like affected you, or if it's affected your business like at all?
Well, we've been blessed down here in Atlanta. I don't know why, but I'm appreciative that Hits 92.3 has not skipped a beat. So during the pandemic, our doors didn't close. We were closed, of course, when we were down for 2 months when, you know, everything shut down and people couldn't leave their houses. But outside of those 2 months, we never shut down. Like, business still boomed for us. I'm an introvert, so it was not an issue for me because I just felt like it was a regular day for me personally. Yeah. My husband was losing it because he's an extrovert, so he likes to be out.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, I don't get it.
No, so I haven't been tripping at all. I'm like, oh, it's been a week. I didn't even know. And plus, when I go get groceries, like I get like a bunch of like everything. So
you good?
Yeah, like I really do not have to. And plus, like my work is with me; it's here. So it's just like, why am I leaving?
Exactly.
People.
And then the thing that we do is when the building was closed where we couldn't get into the radio station, is I just had different DJs to send their mixes in. So that helped the DJs to have work, and that helped us to have fresh, you know, content rolling on the station too. So
that's really smart.
Yeah, we had to get creative.
That's really smart. So Kelz, I want to ask you to let everyone know where they can find you at, where they can support you, where they can get in contact with you if they want to like partner, invest, run ads, the whole nines.
Oh yeah, we definitely need investors. Definitely that. So you can find me The Real, who is Kelz, and that's Kelz, or you can find us at Hits 92.3. You can send an email. It's hits92.3atl@gmail.com. Most days there's a live show going on. We have some of the most amazing radio personalities. So if you tune in at any time, you're either going to hear the latest music or you're going to hear one of the dopest shows going on that's live in studio. So check out any of the shows. I won't say any specific day or time because I love them all. They wouldn't be there if they weren't dope. So yeah, Hits 92.3.
Oh, awesome. I want to say thank you, Kelz, so much for this conversation tonight. You're a true queen, just doing your thing and representing out here and not letting obstacles or life get in the way of you, like following your true purpose. And I really do respect that. Downtown, don't waste no time with negativity. We say eat fruit and mind our business. And I want to say thank you, Queen, so much for tonight. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We need this. So keep this up. Keep being beautiful. You're positive. I love your energy. You're amazing.
Thank you.
About to go downtown.
Downtown, hey!